You have mastered quadratic equations, right? Factoring, discriminants, completing the square, all checked off your list. But what if I told you that all of that still will not be enough to crack this one? In this video, we are diving into a brutally tricky math question, one that looks like a simple quadratic problem but secretly hides a 16th degree monster. It is the kind of question that derails even top students under exam pressure. How many real roots does this seemingly harmless equation have? So, this is the question. We will not only reveal the number of real roots, we will walk step by step to find their exact values, and trust me, it's not what you expect. If you're preparing for JEE, Olympiads, or just love math puzzles that challenge your core understanding, you do not want to miss this. Stay tuned till the end. This is going to be a great video. So what we have here is a quadratic equation. So your f of x is a quadratic equation and the task is simple. You just have to find out the number of real roots of f of x. Alright. So let us say you actually find out f of x. So that will be a 4th degree equation. When you go for f of x, that will be a 8th degree equation, and this particular thing will be a 16th degree equation. So if you go about finding all those equations and then solving the 16th degree equation, it will be a complete mess. To show you how messy it is going to be, I have done few calculations here. So this is your f of x, which is the 4th degree equation that you're going to get. If you notice these numbers, these are very huge and are nasty as well. Okay, let us go a bit further. So I was not able to calculate f of x. So I asked my ChatGPT to do it, and it did the job for me. So this particular equation with a seemingly huge numbers and in fact nasty numbers is your f of x. And now going a step ahead, so now I again asked my ChatGPT to find out f of x, and it has turned out to be this particular monster looking 16th degree equation with a very cumbersome and random huge numbers. So will you be able to solve this 16th degree polynomial and find out the real roots? No, that is not how you solve this question. So there has to be a tricky approach to go about it. And what is that approach? How do you solve this? So this is exactly what we are going to discuss in this video. So stay tuned till the end. I assure you, you are going to learn something from this video. So you have your f of x. You have your f of x here. So if you have to find out the real, let's say you have to find out the real roots of f of x. What do? You set f of x to 0, and the points at which x becomes 0 are your real roots. Of course, if there are any real roots. Alright. So similarly, to find out the real roots of f of x, first we have to set this thing to 0. And now we have to find out the value of x or values of x for which this 16th degree polynomial becomes 0. And let us do exactly that. Alright. So let us assume f of x is equal to t. So now this becomes f of t is equals to 0. So this has to become 0. So now what values of t makes it 0? So it is simple. You just have to take this equation. Since you have f of x here, so your f of t will be this. And when you find the real root, when you find the roots, it will be minus b, which is minus 10, plus or minus root of b square, which is 100, minus 4ac, that will be 80 divided by 2a. So this will give you minus 5 plus or minus root 5. Alright. T is equals to 0. Sorry, t is equals to minus 5 plus or minus root 5 makes this particular expression 0. So now what is t? So t is simply f of f of f of x. Alright. When this becomes minus 5 plus or minus root 5, only then this becomes 0. Alright. Now let us go ahead and solve this. Now let us assume f of x is equals to p. So then this becomes f of p is equals to minus 5 plus or minus root 5. Alright. Now you know f of p from this particular equation. Alright. So your f of p will be p square plus 10p plus 20. This is equals to minus 5 plus or minus root 5. Alright. So this is p square plus 10p. If you bring this 5 to the left hand side, it will be simply 25 is equals to plus or minus root 5. So this is simply p plus 5 whole square is equals to plus or minus root 5. Alright. But this is a perfect square. A perfect square cannot be negative. So p plus 5 whole square is equals to minus root 5. That case is eliminated. So we can have only p plus 5 whole square is equals to plus root 5. From this you can write p plus 5 is equals to plus or minus 5 to the power 1 by 4. Then your p becomes minus 5 plus or minus 5 to the power 1 by 4. Alright. But what is your p? Your p is simply f of x. So this is f of x. So this quantity becomes 0 when your f of x becomes minus 5 plus or minus root 5. And your f of x becomes minus 5 plus or minus root 5 when your f of x, this one, becomes minus 5 plus or minus 5 to the power 1 by 4. So this quantity becomes 0 only when this happens. Alright. Now consider f of x is equals to m. So then this can be written as f of m is equals to minus 5 plus or minus 5 to the power 1 by 4. But your f of m is m square plus 10m plus 20. That is equals to minus 5 plus or minus 5 to the power 1 by 4. If you bring this 5 to the left hand side, so you will have m plus 5 whole square is equals to plus or minus 5 to the power 1 by 4. Again, this left hand side is a perfect square and perfect square cannot be negative. So the case that this perfect square is equals to minus 5 to the power 1 by 4 can be eliminated. So your m plus 5 whole square is simply 5 to the power 1 upon 4. You can, from this you can write your m plus 5 as plus or minus 5 to the power 1 upon 8. So your m is simply minus 5 plus or minus 5 to the power 1 upon 8. Now your m is simply f of x. So f of x is equals to minus 5 plus or minus 5 to the power 1 by 8. So this particular quantity becomes 0 only when this happens. So your f of x is minus 5 plus or minus 5 to the power 1 up on 8. So f of x is minus 5 plus or minus 5 to the power 1 by 8. But we know f of x is x square plus 10x plus 20. Again, going with the same logic, you can write this as x plus 5 whole square is equals to plus or minus 5 power 1 by 8. Again, x plus 5 whole square cannot be negative. So x plus 5 whole square takes the positive quantity only. And you can write it as x plus 5 is equals to plus or minus 5 to the power 1 upon 16. Therefore, x is equals to minus 5 plus or minus 5 to the power 1 upon 16. So, your f of x becomes 0 only when your x becomes these two values, and these two are real values. So we can conclude that there are only two real solutions for f of x, and those real solutions are minus 5 plus or minus 5 to the power 1 by 16. So this is a great question, and it should be there in everyone's notebooks if you're preparing for JEE especially. So these are the kind of questions that you would miss during your preparation. So make sure you have it in your notebook and make sure you revise it before going to your exams. Also, there are a lot of good videos on the channel. Do check them out. And if you like the content that I'm making, share the videos with your friends, subscribe the channel for more such content, and give the video a thumbs up. Thank you. We'll meet in the next video.